We live. What's up, y'all? Sorry for the delay. We had a little technical difficulties here, but the show will and must go on. If you guys could hear me and see me, please let me know in the chat down below. I'm trying something slightly different this evening with the microphone. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Welcome back to a Sunday night live show with your host, Mr.BetonYou. I got topics on my mind, weekend review, or week-long review, I guess you could say. Pedro, top of the evening, Pennsylvania. All right. If you guys could, somebody give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys could hear me. So yeah, definitely a lot going on this week. Oreo Kid, American Girl, welcome. Hey, buddy from Canada. I guess you guys could hear and see me okay, right? Hi there, everyone. Sounds good. Dash, Nebraska. What up, brother? William Duke, American Girl. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all. Dash, Nebraska. Hope you had a great week, man. So I had a fantastic week this week. And, you know, with the gig economy, it can be very fluid, ups and downs, you know. I've been very consistent the last couple of months, so I'm very grateful for that. So I won't bore you guys with that and numbers necessarily. I'm going to talk a little bit about that this week. I'm going to talk about 2 videos that I made this week. I'm going to react to your reactions in tonight's live stream. Might have the StreamYard link up. We'll see how the night goes. I did a lot of that last week. I got some things on my mind I want to get out of my mind before I go into a very prosperous spring break week next week. I'm working a short week this week because we're going on a 2-day vacation, really. We're just driving 3 hours away. Not a big deal. But we'll be gone for basically 2.5, 3 days. So I'm only working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Only 3 days this week. So that'll be nice, right? Hopefully you guys also have something to look forward to. This past week was fantastic. Over 1,700 in earnings Monday through Friday. No caterings this weekend. Didn't turn on the apps at all today or yesterday. Very grateful to be able to have a solid week for the amount of time and miles I drove. Good catering week and a really good Uber week. Sprinkled in a couple roadies, sprinkled in maybe 5 or 6 Instacarts, and that was it. Big earnings week on Uber. It was my number 1 app, followed by Expedite for catering and 1 personal client. So fantastic week. Appreciate all y'all for staying in here. All right, so I'm going to say hi to everybody real quick. Before I do that, please hit that thumbs up button. I've already kind of went over the week that we've had, and that's a good week. You know, that's above my average of what I want and what my budget tells me I need to earn. So that was fantastic. And, you know, and with that money, basically we get to have a little bit more fun in Branson. We're going to Branson Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's about 3.5 miles out of St. Louis. Never been there. It's like a honky-tonk country town. I don't know. I've never been. My girls want to go. You know, they got a pool there. They got a water park or whatever. They got some shows, and we'll obviously eat. And, you know, it should be an interesting week. So, but before, now that that's out the way, let me say hi to y'all real quick, and then we'll get into tonight's topic. I'm gonna be. How do I say this? Let me say hi to y'all first. See Hulk Smash. What's up, Gigfoot, Matthew? It's Namora. I'm really bad at reading these names. Real Talk with Roy. What's up, Lift? Hulk Smash, American, Eliza, Elazar. I'm really bad at names. William Duke, National Nebraska. Blue Demon. What's up? Oreo Kid, American Girl. NCIS 46, NCIS 46, H1I. What's up, gig workers? Always late. Sometimes we late. It is what it is. I try to be on time, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Good segue for yesterday's video. What's interesting, and I want to give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on YouTube and how it works, but then also, I gotta call some things how I see them. I always do that. I'm not always right about stuff. I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting it. I've been wrong plenty of times in the last 5 years on YouTube, right? We're all wrong at some point. It takes humility to admit when you're wrong. Yesterday, I was not wrong. Let me tell you why. What's interesting about DoorDash drivers, gig workers, is we tend to struggle holding each other accountable at times. Not all of us, some of us. We tend to want change. We want better tips. We want a better experience. We want to be treated better by companies and merchants. But then when we see other gig workers doing things, sometimes people will defend somebody because of who's presenting them with the information. Now, let me explain. I have probably, by my guest estimation, I mean, I get a lot of love in this YouTube world. I've been very grateful, very blessed. I work hard at it, but I'm very blessed. That's not lost on me. But I'd say there's 100, maybe 200 people out there that regularly come to my channel or others that do not like me for whatever reason. And I champion that. I'm okay with it. What you don't want is people being indifferent to you. Now, regardless of why they have an opinion about me, that's not my business. That's them. That's between them and God and whoever else. They can look at the man in the mirror and decide if they feel like that's justified. I could care less. But what's interesting is, because I'm the messenger of a woman in my market bringing her hot bag, her food insulated bag, into the bathroom at a local Chick-fil-A yesterday afternoon, because I give that as a topic of discussion of how nasty that is. Why would she do that? How does your car look? And I try to make it into like a teaching moment of what dashers, in my opinion, should never do. There is never a world where you bring something that comes in contact to keep food hot and or cold into a public restroom. Actually, any restroom. It's against health codes. That's how people get sick. E. coli spreads. And I'm going to get into a little bit of how I know about how that stuff works and how liable the companies are, but really how liable you can make yourself. But because I'm the person giving that message, people are defending bad behavior. Because if somebody else out here that you liked said the same thing about that driver and filmed it, the response would have been different. Now, what's interesting, though, about YouTube, I put a short up of this woman walking out the bathroom. Because I was in, we're sitting at this like big table in there, we're eating, and I stand up at Chick-fil-A because there's like this big table. I don't like to sit because I sit all day when I drive. So I stand up when I go there. It is what it is. And I see people, and there's a lot of dashers, doing their thing. And I see a woman with a bag. She stands out to me because she has a bag. Most drivers that don't carry bags in the restaurants. They just don't. Not anymore. They used to, not anymore. So she stands out, and I see she's standing there. She's waiting for an order. She's got a bag. And then she turns around and walks to the bathroom. And she walks right in front of us. So I see that, and I'm like, is she really going to the bathroom? She goes, walk straight into the bathroom. She's in the bathroom for probably at least 3 or 4 minutes. So probably didn't go in there just to wash her hands. 3, 4, 5 minutes is how long she's in there. I look at my girl. I'm like, that woman just walked in there with a DoorDash bag. That's odd to me. I had never seen that before. So Madison, my girl's like, you gonna film that? I was like, nah. She started to film it. Madison likes to do, she likes to be a part of things sometimes. So she's filming it, and the lady walks out, goes right up to the counter, brings her phone. I filmed all this. Madison filmed all this. I showed you. Goes to the counter, picks up the food. Now, I don't know what she did in the bathroom. I'm not going to film somebody in the bathroom. I'm not going to do all that. But what's interesting is the show of respect that woman got for her bad behavior, because I showed you guys that video, was astonishing to me. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. I'll get to the chat in a minute. It's just interesting that we are defending bad behavior. And I'll say this. Maybe you guys look at it differently. Well, Pedro, you can't. Why'd you film? Why'd you do this? I never said she took food in the bathroom. I said she took a hot bag in the bathroom. Never said that she took the food in the bathroom. It's interesting, though. But the thing that interests me maybe the most about this, right? The thing that baffles me is, why do we have a hard time holding other drivers accountable when they do something bad? Because, like I said just a second ago, if you're somebody in the chat that thinks that that's okay, that's wild to me. That blows my mind. Because let me tell you what, I've worked in restaurants a long time. I did ServSafe certifications. I think you had to get them every 4 years or so. So I've done the class 5 or 6 times in my life. Okay. I know what cross-contamination means. I know what safe food handling means, temperature danger zones, what foods are more susceptible to getting somebody sick. I know all these things. And there are a lot of things that people have, if you've never worked at a restaurant, you have no idea what happens in the kitchen, what happens here, the ice machine, cash registers, why people wear gloves, why sometimes you shouldn't wear a glove. Like, there's situations that are, why you shouldn't have the same person doing the outside cleaning work and cleaning the bathrooms. You wouldn't want them to also, the next step, also like prepare food right away. Like, there's certain things that you want to keep separate. So anybody that thinks like bringing a hot bag into a bathroom is normal, is wild to me. It doesn't mean you can't use the bathroom. It doesn't mean, and if she had an emergency, she didn't run in there like she needed to go right away. I saw every moment, this woman and what she was doing. I guess she just didn't, she was worried somebody was going to steal her bag. So she put the community's health at risk, because regardless of what you think about where the bag was, maybe she set it on the counter, maybe it's interesting that anybody would think that that's okay. So, but I know why. It's because I'm giving you the message. People think that it's either made up or, oh, this poor old lady, what if she loses her job? Nobody knows her name. I didn't say her name, didn't say anything, didn't film her in the car. I could have approached her with Madison's phone and like had a viral video in that way. I don't do things for clicks and views. I do things because there are topics and it's what I see. It's interesting. But once again, if you knew that the bag that was touched by somebody and it went into a hot bag, if that same bag was just in the bathroom, some of y'all might still eat the food, you paid for it, but would you second guess it a little bit? Would you be like, that's kind of nasty? A little bit? It is kind of nasty. There's no reason to bring a hot bag into a bathroom. What's interesting to me, though, is my monologue is almost over. This isn't scripted. It's right off the top of the dome. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate y'all very, very much. But what's interesting to me is all of us that do this, we're delivering and transporting food, right? And when you get a health inspection done at a restaurant, okay, some restaurants pay a company called Ecolab, and you would get an EcoSure audit, which is basically just a way for the company that paying Ecolab to come out to make sure that the restaurant's up to code. And then you have those. I've been part of probably 50 of those in my life. But then separate of that, you have 1 or 2 health department visits a year. You can get a health department visit if somebody says that they had a bad experience, if they got dirty silverware, if they noticed something, if they said, oh, I saw an employee, I was in a bathroom, an employee didn't wash their hands when they left. If that customer calls the health department will come out and do an audit. And if they see everything's okay, you still got the A in a restaurant, they won't shut you down. It takes a lot to get shut down. I mean, a lot. You got to have rats and rodents and like a lot of food safety issues. Everything's on a score level, right? The point of why I'm mentioning this, though, is there's no scenario where you can take something like a bag or even an apron. You can't take your apron into the bathroom. You got to take your apron off if you work there, put it somewhere before you go in the bathroom, because bacteria, when you flush a toilet, when anything comes into contact, regardless of how clean it might look, there's stuff in the air and on surfaces all the time, everywhere, even in your own bathroom. But as a restaurant, as drivers, as a company, you have a responsibility to the community put upon you by your local health department and government agencies to do things the right way so people don't get sick. We used to, in this country, not have those kind of regulations and people would die or get really sick. Now everything is traced. Most restaurants have to have what they call like line checks, where you have to temperature the macaroni and the soup. And if it's not 145 degrees, if it's only 120, that's a temperature danger zone. You're supposed to throw it away, or you have a lot amount of time to get it back up to temp. If you check the mayo and the mayo is 56 degrees, that's bad. You're supposed to discard that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But the reason these things are put into place, I know I'm boring some of y'all, but let me get it out, is because you don't want people to get sick. People with compromised immune systems, older people, younger people, people that are already sick. So once again, I'll land the plane and kind of end it here. When I made this short that came out a couple hours before the long form video, it's got more views because YouTube Shorts is different. It's a different audience. And people watch YouTube Shorts that aren't like, they're part of this community, but they're also like customers and like regular folk. They're not us, right? The people that watch the videos, mostly us, right? The comments in that are like, that's gross, that's nasty, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Because they're not part of this I Hate Pedro fan club on YouTube, right? But the long form videos, that's where a lot of people that don't like me watch. They're like, why'd you do that? Oh my God, do you see the stark difference Same content, different audience. So don't let the hate for Pedro skew your reality of what is acceptable. Because once again, if you do gig work tomorrow and you take your hot bag into the bathroom to do anything, wash your hands, take a dump, take a pee, brush your hair, that's nasty. And if you don't think it's nasty, then, and if you do that similar kind of stuff, I think drivers that do that should not be delivering food. The same way I would say, if you're somebody that's not treating food safe in a proper way consistently at a restaurant, you drop a thing of chicken and you pick it up off the floor, because I think the floor is clean, and you serve that chicken, you should be fired. Period. Like, there are things that you should do and not do. So don't let your hate for me or how you feel about me distort your reality of what is right and wrong. Does that make sense? Who else is here? Wise Fool, what up? Mike, what's up? Mike always loves me. He's always watching. Hulk Smash. Let me read a few comments and see what you guys are saying. Gig Wise, what's up, man? She probably grabs her crotch at the customer's door while she. Exactly. What are we talking about here? Who else is there? Matthew, what up, George? It's nasty and should never be done. Her shirt was wet, so it looks like she washed her hands. What difference does that make? What are we talking about here? Why are people defending? Why is anybody defending somebody taking a food insulated bag that you're using to do deliveries into a public restroom? What are we talking about? I had my ServSafe server decades. Yeah, man. I think mine's just expired a little while ago. ServSafe, yeah. Leave a hot bag sitting on the table outside the bathroom. That's what I would do. I've used the bathroom all the time. Oh, a lot of times I might not even walk in with it, because I keep my hot bags in the back seat of my car. So when I open up the seat, the door right behind me, the driver's side door in the back seat, I got my bags and stuff set up there. I got one on the floor, I got one in the seat, and I got my catering and other bags in the back seat. You guys have seen the videos. And I put it there, and that's how I transport it. That's just how I do it. I don't usually bring a bag in unless it's catering and I need it, or I know it's a big order. I'm like, you know what? Let me take this in, because I don't want to have to come back to the car if it's going to be easier for me to use the bag. But like, yeah, it's better that way. Or you leave it on the counter. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants that. It's good to view the footage. Let me see what else we got here. So Pedro, totally agree. Dash in with Yosef. What's up, man? Oblivion, what up? Gina, what up? Hope you're doing well. Love to see you. Hope you and yours are fantastic. I hope the family is good. So happy to see you here. We got some crazy DoorDash people out here. Who else we got here? You know what? Where's Mike? You know what? I'm kind of done giving people like that energy. Bobby, what up? Who else is here? I think I just got rid of that guy, right? Yeah. God, he's such a fan. Krista, what up? I hate public restrooms. Yeah, I don't got no problem with a public restroom, as long as if I gotta go, I gotta go. You ain't taking our hot bags in there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was surprised. I mean, she is nasty. Absolutely, she is. Lynn, what up? All right, so I just wanted to get that out the way. It's interesting though, because you have the shorts on YouTube. I did a short video. The comments in that one's like exactly what it should be. And in the long form video, there's like, I don't know, probably 10 to 15 comments that are like like not understanding how gross that is, and more worried about her in a weird way. I don't understand. When a company is paying you to do something, you have to do things a certain way, like, and I've been guilty of maybe not doing things the right way. And if you get caught, you get caught, and when you're in the general public, if you're going to do stupid things, there's cameras filming you everywhere. There's all the businesses that you walk into, probably most of them, there's a camera filming you doing what you're doing. There's cameras at traffic lights, restaurants, all the businesses you drop off at, hotels, school. There's cameras everywhere. You give up your right to privacy when you step out into public streets. This is how it is. You see, I've seen the First Amendment audit videos, right? And I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to confront people and like try to make it go viral and like embarrass somebody. If she took the food in the bathroom, it's a different thing. I'm having a conversation with her. I'm going to pull her. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to say, hey, what's going on here? Like, why'd you take that food in there? I would probably do that. if I knew it wasn't her. She had a DoorDash bag. If the food is sealed, what are you doing? Like that you're gonna get somebody sick. That food could be going to somebody that I know. Like, you know, not the likelihood of getting somebody really sick is low. It's not like it's gonna, you know, but you don't know. But where's the burden of where's the responsibility lie with Chick-fil-A, DoorDash, the driver? You guys tell me what you think or know. Now, if we got somebody sick at Applebee's, I've had to take phone calls. I got sick. I was there last night. A lot of times that's not how that works, right? Some foodborne illnesses don't hit right away. But we'd have to look at our line checks. If there was a lawsuit or something, or if there was litigation that was going to happen, the lawyers would say, okay, did you guys do a line check that day? I need to see the line check for March 13th, 2026, or March 14th was yesterday. I need to see your line check. Was somebody certified on staff? I need to pull cameras. This person had this salad, blah, blah, blah. Do you have cameras? We had cameras on our line. Okay, who prepared the salad? What time? Okay, the receipt says she was there at 11:15. Okay, the order was, you know, it came to the table at about 11:30. So I need to see the footage from 11:15 from when she rang it in, the server, from 11:30. Who handled that food? Were they sick that day? Do they have a hepatitis A shot record on file? Do you understand what I'm very knowledgeable about this stuff and what would happen. So if that lady did get somebody sick, she could be held liable for that because she went into the bathroom. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, but we've seen things happen. Companies get held responsible when the Dole company has bad spinach or bad romaine lettuce. They do recalls on it. You have to, and as a restaurateur or somebody working at a grocery store, you have to pull all that product immediately and discard it because you don't want to get people sick. And taking hot bags into bathrooms is nasty work. It's diabolical. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are, how old you are. It's nasty. Period. All right. I had to get that out of my mind. I just had to. What's the definition of integrity when nobody's watching? Yeah. You know, and that Chick-fil-A is absolutely amazing. I know more than half the staff. They're busy doing things. Like, they're not clocking some lady walking. You know, I noticed it because I'm a very observant person, especially when I'm in a restaurant because I used to work. I'm standing up. I'm like, she's got a hot bag. Oh, she's walking to the bathroom. What? And if she wanted to wash her hands, they have sanitizer stations there. She could have she went to go take a dookie in the stall in the women's bathroom. And some of y'all defending that. That is mind blowing. You're defending it because you don't like me. It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyways, I just, you know, it's wild to me. It's wild to me. All right. Let's see what else. I'm sure nasty stuff is committed by drivers all day, every day without anyone's knowledge. St. Pete, I'm going to put this up because I think you're right. And maybe we can get on. I mean, I think that some of our cars might not be very clean. Some of us work with animals, you know, like for whatever reason, maybe you have a reason, but I'm saying, and animals aren't nasty necessarily, but some people might be allergic. They don't want the dog hair. Like, I definitely think there are people that smoke a lot. I have a really good friend. A couple months ago, he ordered DoorDash or Uber or something. He said it was groceries. It was Walmart Spark order. He got his groceries and they smelled like smoke. And he doesn't smoke. His family does not smoke at all. He goes, Pedro, I got my groceries. It smelled like smoke. I had to throw some of the stuff away. You know, and I know some of you guys smoke. I don't smoke. I've never been a smoker. But like, we do have a responsibility, in my opinion, to do things a certain way. You know? And I don't think it should be, you know, if you're going to smoke, you got to have windows down or something, or just wait until after your delivery, you know. But if you're puffing cigarette smoke and your windows are up and you got food right behind you, I think that's irresponsible. That's me. That's my opinion. Some of y'all might not like that one, and that's okay. Because if you're a smoker, hey, get that cigarette break in. I hear you. You're an independent contractor. I know what y'all going to say already. What do you mean I can't smoke? I get it. But you're providing a service. And we don't know what the other people on the other end, like, they're paying a premium price and they got stuff that's got dookie on it. It's got cigarette smoke all on the bag. Why do you think we ain't getting tips, man? Like, think about that. I mean, it's crazy to me. 2 or 3 minutes, you didn't have time to take a dump. LOL. I want you to count to 180. I can use a bathroom in 103 minutes for sure. Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5. I was just saying, you know, I didn't have a timer on it. Let's see what else we got. Well, they smoke all day, every day. Yeah, I know. Kevin, what up? What up? Yes, I feel that a delivery driver should have a clean vehicle and order free. Yeah, Hawk Smash, I agree, man. You know, I think it's a lot to ask though, because the barrier of entry in the reality of the gig world, the barrier entry is low. DoorDash doesn't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, they treat us like crap. So when the pay is so low, what incentive do I have to really keep my car super shiny clean? You know what I'm saying? Like, we should, because we take pride in our equipment, and our car is part of our equipment. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it ain't got to be pristine. I ain't got to eat off my floorboards. But the point is, there's some nasty DoorDash drivers out there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with holding them accountable for bad behavior. I just don't. I think at a base level, like cleanliness and the respect for food is like base level. As far as customer service and going the extra mile, and that's different. But like delivering food in a safe manner is like, if you can't do that, you can't do the job. Period. If I was going to hire somebody to work in a kitchen, if they weren't going to wash their hands or wear gloves when they were prepping food, you know, if they weren't going to wear a cut glove when they were slicing the steak butts for our steak, if they weren't, and that would risk them maybe cutting themselves. If they weren't going to do simple, basic things, wear an apron, wear a hat. If they had a beard that was really long, they had to wear a beard net. If it was short enough, they didn't have to. You know, you're not supposed to wear certain jewelry if you're preparing food. Like, if they weren't able to do those type of things, you didn't get a job. You would get fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a standard when it comes to food in my book. And maybe it's because I worked in a restaurant for such a long time and I was a part of all that I'm just a little intense about it. But when I see a lady walking into a public restroom with a hot bag, my ears perk up. Like, what the is this? Is she good? Is she riding a short bus? Like, what's happening here? And the fact that some of y'all are championing that, like, if y'all do the same thing, then you probably are somebody that doesn't make a lot of money. If you treat your equipment, your space, your car, if you treat your actions match your income a lot of the times. I believe that. Some of y'all won't like I said that, but I believe your actions match your income. So that's all I got about that topic. All right. What else y'all got? What else did I have this week? What up, John? I think I also had on here, let me see. I had some topics. Let me look them up real quick. Weekly earnings recap, talked about that, over 1,700 this week. DoorDash driver, bad behavior reaction. Is the gig economy over? So I made a video earlier. Shout out to Nugs. Shout out to Cruising. Uh-oh. Hold on. Did we lose connection? Can you guys still hear me and see me? I think we lost something here. Shout out to Nugs and shout out to Cruising with Chris. Oh, I'm really bad at the names. Hold up. I can't. Okay, so you guys, we're still good. I think you guys can still hear and see me, right? I lost something on one of these phones, but I think we're okay. So I know a lot of drivers. It's a topic that a lot of us have been talking about. Is the gig economy over? It's dead. I can't make any money. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it's something that is growing by every measurable. So we're talking about measurables. We're talking about people that do a job that we don't do. They look at the numbers and the levels of economy. The gig economy is growing. The numbers, like black and white numbers, don't lie. The way people are earning in the gig economy continues to grow year over year. The opportunities continue to grow. But why are some of us having a bad time of it? Is it the low pay? Is it the stress? Is it the wear and tear on automobiles that gives you a really big repair and then now you're like stuck behind? Like, all these things are the reality. Is it oversaturation? Too much competition? So then now, I used to see a lot. Now I'm not seeing anything for an hour or two at a time. I only make $20 in 3 hours. I see that. I see those comments, right? So what do we do about it, right? Because if it's dying, if it's dead, if you can't make it, what's the next move? I've been talking about that for years, right? And Nugs had a really interesting video talking about his experience, why he's still doing it, why he's making the content. He's, another guy reacted to Cruising with Chris, I think it is, reacted to my video of making $300 a day, trying to, sharing my experience, a positive video. And I get why some people might not like that. I understand why. And then Nug saying the gig economy's done, minimum wage, this sucks, it's horrible, right? And I get both. I've been on both ends. I've thought both, right? But I think the reason that I've thought that before, like, and I still would not recommend doing this full time for anybody brand new. I wouldn't say, yeah, quit your job and do this. I would never. I'm steadfast on that. However, that doesn't mean it still doesn't work for many people. I mean, there's more positive content on DoorDash from a content creator standpoint as far as making money than there is negative. There is, and some of y'all might disagree, but maybe your algorithm is just showing you what you want to see. There are a lot of people still making really good money doing this, and they've adapted and they've tried different things and they've adjusted, and they might not like the programs and the tiers and the emeralds and rubies and rhinestones and unicorns and rainbows and roses. They might not like them, but they understand how to play with them to make their money. I have 4 caterings tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8:30, 11:15, 1:45, and 4:15. I have $260 on a Monday already with 4 orders that each one will take me less than an hour to complete. That's not bragging. That's not boasting. Shout out to all the people, and some of y'all are here, that have helped me get on these apps and tell me about them. I was late to the game. But in St. Louis, I see what works. Where you live, you have to see what works. It doesn't mean it's dead, I can't do it. It means maybe you're doing the wrong thing. I believe that. And I'm going to keep championing that and talking about that because I want people to be able to have a similar experience. You don't have to be sitting in your car for an hour with no money available to you. Now, if you only have Uber and DoorDash, that might be your reality. But what are you doing to get out of that reality? I think that's important. I think it's extremely important because the same person sitting in the parking lot screaming at the steering wheel, I've been that person. I've been you, mad about my day. You've seen it on the videos. But while I was doing that, there were a couple hundred people in St. Louis killing it on apps I had no idea were available, making big money. While you're doing that, or you're going to do that tomorrow, there's somebody picking up something that's worth their time, and they're having a completely different experience in the same exact marketplace. And it doesn't mean your experience is going to match theirs every single day, but how can you make yours just marginally better, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, little incremental wins here and there to make more money. The money is there. Nebraska with the 25, man. Thank you. The money's there. Let me see what Nebraska's got going on here. I know I'm rambling, but I think it's important to talk about these things because we just like to blame. But how can we shift our reality? We can control certain things. Nebraska with the 25. Thanks, man. Not necessary, but I appreciate that. That was a great video. Yes, your channel is a must if you want to make money. Nugs Pure Entertainment. Love when he came down and dashed with you and have a great day. Nugs is fantastic. I love Nugs as a man. He's a new father. Nugs is absolutely the #1 entertainment channel in the gig community. I've said that probably 20 times in the last 4 years. I still stand by that. Nugs is a guy that will figure it out, and he always will. But he probably, I'm not going to speak for him, but based on his videos and talking to him in person for basically a whole week, he don't want to really be doing this. He'd rather make just content and do this. And you know what I'm saying? He's a very thoughtful young man, very smart guy, very creative. But at the end of the day, like the experience that a lot of drivers are having, or the ones that are looking at somebody like me saying $300 a day, these are real numbers. Like this is what I can make. And it's not difficult to do it once you put the time and effort and research and start signing up and trying new things. It's all about that. Anybody that's like good at whatever they want to do, you get to the point of like a flow state of it becomes a routine for you. Steph Curry, the best shooter alive, Golden State Warriors. Look him up if you're not a basketball fan. He's the greatest shooter alive. He built that, though. He built that. He's gotten better year over year. Percentages kind of gone up. Broken records. Because he practices. It's a craft for him. He does research on how to keep his body, how to eat better. Right? He spends money and time on a nutritionist, and he has that. But the point is, If you want success, you have to invest into yourself, do some research, be willing to get uncomfortable, maybe not eat that burger before the game that you want, maybe train a little extra harder, show up first, leave last. This is what successful people do. What they don't do is, my coach isn't going to put me in, I'm sweating too much, this gym's too hot, I can't make my shots because of this. The basketball's not bouncy enough. Get a new basketball. These shoes are a little tight. Get some new shoes, Steph. My coach is yelling at me. I don't like what he's doing to me. You know what? It rained this morning, so I'm not going to jog to the gym like I did yesterday. Still jog, Steph. You need to get to the gym. Like, we're putting blockers in front of us because other people put similar blockers, and it makes us feel good to, like, fail at something. You know, it's like a trauma bonding that some of us do. And you don't have to do that. And you can start at any time over. When I started making YouTube videos, I'm 44. Let's see, 40, I was 39 when I started making YouTube content. I turned 40. I was 39 years old. I started over in a lot of ways. So use me as an example. You're going to fail. You're not going to always be right. It's going to be tough. It's going to suck. But at the end of the day, you control more than you think. And, you know, I believe that. Who else we got up in here? Yeah, to some level, we're being programmed. Drain the song. I think I got too high. What app did he say he has to have those set up already? Expedite, Mr. J. Expedite. It's an app I've been talking about for almost a year now. I've had it for exactly just about a year, slightly over a year. I've been talking a lot about it for the last 2-3 months because it's been very good to me. Not every order is fantastic, but if you build that account up a little bit and you make yourself available and you're here for that phone at 1 p.m., you can see some good things. LT, what up? I've been watching you that long. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Eating and reading the Bible. Hey, if that works for you, man, that's fantastic. But, you know, I just think, and shout out to Nebraska again for the 25, man. I appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up. If y'all can't afford a super chat, at least you can do is give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you don't like the content, if you think I'm blowing smoke, hit the thumbs down. It works just the same on YouTube. But yeah, you can have success if you put yourself in a position to do it. I can't stress that enough. In your marketplace, there's somebody that's going to have a better day than you tomorrow. Also, I want to ask yourself one question tonight. Why is that? Is it pure luck? Sometimes there's a luck to this. I've talked about that. Sometimes there is some luck there, but not every order's luck. We all luck into a few a day or a couple a week. You know what I'm saying? But it's not all luck. Some of it is. A piece of the pie, not the majority. Mindset Manny, remember for 4 months. What's up, brother? It's all about the mindset. You got to stay positive as much as possible. Yeah, man. And the mindset will take you to a certain point. And then after that, you have to have action behind it. I'm trying to show that comment. You got to have action behind the mindset, but you're absolutely right. It starts with that. There it is. It 100% starts with that. You know, my girl and I, she's been wanting to work out again. I'm not somebody that does the gym. Well, about a year and a half ago, I started doing push-ups and started feeling good. I need to get back into something because I'm not in great shape, okay? And I don't want it to get worse. As you get older as a man, it's harder. She's been wanting to work out together because, you know, she wants to get, you know, a little more trim or tone or whatever, right? And at the end of the day, the only thing stopping us is us. You know, if I want to achieve something different than I have to be willing to maybe wake up an hour early every day to work out, or end an hour early of my working to go to the gym, or take a break in between. I can control that. You can control the money that you make in your marketplace because, like I said, many drivers tomorrow are going to have a better day than you. And this isn't for anybody that's having success. If you're doing good and you're hitting your goals, fantastic. But there's somebody out there that's not going to have a great day tomorrow. But in the same market, working virtually the same apps in the same hours, somebody's going to have a better day. And they'll have a better Tuesday. And maybe you guys will have the same Wednesday. And then they'll have a better Thursday. And then at the end of the week, they're going to make a couple $100 more than you. So do what that person's doing. Copy the greatness. Copy the skill. I think it's that simple. I believe it. And don't take hot bags in the bathroom. Because drivers, in my opinion, that do stuff like that aren't making good money. I'm going to call it right now. The woman that I saw Saturday does not make as much money as me in St. Louis. I don't know that to be a fact. That's my opinion. But I would bet my $1,700 that I made this week that if she worked the same amount of time, she would not make $1,700. Some of y'all won't understand why I'm saying that, but if you know, you know. How you move, how you act, what you do has a trickle-down effect into the fluidity of your week and your money. It 100% does. When I was, and I still am sometimes, when I'm super negative about a day, or if I'm making a video bashing customers, sometimes I didn't have great weeks. And the reason I was making those videos because the week kind of sucked. But I let that mindset of the negativity of the apps, or this customer that didn't tip me, or this contract violation, or whatever, I let that cloud my actions and movement. I let it seep into how I treated other people, what video I made for you guys. I read a negative comment, and when you stay in that space for an extended period of time and you don't let go of it, it impacts your mind, and it will impact your money. I promise you it will. Because this isn't like we're growing our own business, you know, to where you can get mad and then figure it out and grind it out because it's your business. No. When you stay too mad doing something that's not yours, you're going to burn out or have failure. It's a proven fact in every measure of life. So where are you? Where do we stand? What kind of week are you going to have? What kind of rest of the 2026 are you going to have? Are you going to listen to people on podcasts and people reacting to other people having success? Men like Steve and Torp. If you're going to listen to those guys, you are not going to make more money, period. Because they're victims. I'll say it publicly now, because I got more on those gentlemen coming up very soon. But at the end of the day, we're here to make money. You can watch one content creator for entertainment. You can watch me because you want to see me fail. You want to see me grow, whatever reason you want to watch me. But at the end of the day, you should be consuming some form of content that's going to make you more money. Whether it's an investment channel that's going to show you how to invest your Dasher earnings, or whether it's this channel that's going to teach you how to save money on repairing your automobile yourself. There's a million different kinds of things you can watch to save you dollars or make you more money. So watch those things. And everything else just take as a grain of salt for entertainment purposes only. But at the end of the day, we got some people giving advice or saying this or just straight out lying because somebody else that they see on YouTube is making $300 a day. And they're mad. It's funny. I had to get that out. There's more to come on that because cowards will not be tolerated. And I've been extremely patient. Very patient. Are hot bags even effective? That's a great, you know what? Let me put this up on the screen. Negativity, yeah. And I'm negative too sometimes. Trust me. Y'all seen that. I'm going to put this comment up. I'll say this. I think hot bags, because most of the food that we pick up is just sitting on a counter or on a desk or on a, you know what I'm saying? Or it's coming right from them. And so like hot bags can help sometimes. I don't think they're as effective. But when you have a dirty hot bag or a cross-contaminated hot bag, then it becomes an issue. That Dasher would have been better off not having any bag at all. Going to the bathroom, washing her hands, and then picking up the bag. The bag would have been cleaner, period. But when you touch a bag and then you put it in a bag that was just in the bathroom, that's a dirtier bag. It has more bacteria on it. If that bag was swabbed for E. coli and this and that, it would have came up more positive than if that bag was never in the bathroom. It's just a fact. It's just, you can't debate it. There's no debating that. There's no like, it's science. Like there's no way around that. I know it's funny, isn't it? The season here is my area starting to peak. More orders, Mr. J. Some doubled with hood amounts. I don't know what that means. Blizzard in Milwaukee tomorrow, but we're also going to make it work. Oh, what up, Dan? What type of hot bags do you think would be good for food handling? Oh, man. Just Google. I mean, there's so many hot bags. There's so many. I think if you're doing Spark and Instacart, get you some of the IKEA bags to hold the big loads. So they're not insulated, but you can put, they're so big you can put an insulated bag in. It helps with the carrying. But then just get you some Amazon bags, man. There's, you know, they ain't got to be super expensive. John, what up? Appreciate the 5 spot, man. I mean, there's so many good bags out there. Appreciate that so much, because the bags that the companies give you aren't great. They're usually not. They're pretty cheap. 59 and heavy rain in Rhode Island. Okay. So what else you guys got in your mind? I kind of got what I had for this week out of my brain. What do you guys have? Some questions? What are you looking forward to? What are you working on? What apps are you onboarding? Is there a topic you want to discuss? I'm kind of leave it up to you guys, because I did what I had to do. Black Dragon says, I reported a Grubhub driver last weekend for smoking around my food. This dumbass really came to my door smoking a cigarette with my food in hand. That's crazy. That is the bad driver. And if you guys are in the chat, if you do that kind of stuff, in those moments, you're a bad delivery driver. If you're walking up to a door with a cigarette in your hand, delivering somebody their food that they paid for, you are a bad delivery driver. Good on you for reporting that. It makes us look bad, because as a customer, I wouldn't want that. Maybe that deters you from tipping or even ordering again. It's not good. We have to understand our role here. We're not employees, but we should be doing things with the mindset of like, would this get me in trouble? Could I get deactivated? Could this, could that? Like, what's safe here? What's appropriate? What's respectful? Just think about that. Large coolers are really good, depending on what kind of apps you have. That is nasty. I reported. Yeah, that's crazy. Speaking of bacteria, that's why we shouldn't be preparing drinks. Okay. Ooh, yes. That's the other video I wanted to talk about. So the thumbnail had the other guy from Wingstop. Do you guys make drinks? I do. Y'all know where I stand on this, but I completely understand if you guys don't want to, like, because it's a personal choice. You might be missing out on some money, but that's as an independent contractor, you can do that. But yeah, there's definitely something there. Do I think when I make a drink, I'm making it in a less safe way than the workers? No, I don't. Are some drivers? Yeah. Is it maybe more safe than some of the workers? Possibly. But you got to understand, some of these merchants, when that Wingstop order gets put in, right? They don't want to make the drink. It's not all the time because they're lazy. Sometimes, yes. But it more has to do with they don't know when that order is going to get picked up. So now you have a Pepsi that was made, and you have a Pepsi that's made with ice. If it sits there for like 10, 15 minutes, it begins to lose the fizz and the bubbles, and it becomes flat. And then you still have a 5 to 15 minute drive. So now maybe that drink was made 20, 30 minutes ago. It's not going to taste great. And then the restaurant's going to get complaints, and I got to issue refunds. So I understand why, from a time standpoint, they want us to do it sometimes. Raising Cane's, we have to order it, and then they give you the cup like a customer. You know what I'm saying? So I get that too, because the soda fountain's there. Like, I understand it, but it doesn't bother me. But I get why some people might not want to do it. I understand it. But do you guys do those? I don't do drinks. Okay, Mr. J. I wash my hands every chance I get. I wash my hands a lot. I would say I probably wash my hands at a minimum 8 to 10 times while I'm working. So we'll say like once an hour at least. At least. $6.99. I appreciate that. Is that at Frit KL? Appreciate that, man. Or I'll call you K. It says K. Thanks for the $6.99. CA, are you in Cali? If I make drinks, it's mostly ice. Well, you're supposed to fill the ice up all the way anyways. That's what they say, unless it says no ice or a lot of ice. Cash is worse than toilet seat. Cash is dirty. Your phone is dirty. That's true. We should be wiping our phone down. We should be doing these things. You should, at minimum, you should be wiping your DoorDash bag out. At the end of your shift, just wipe it out. Your catering bag, wipe it out if it's dirty. Just some sanitation wipes go a long way. We should have these things in our cars. I believe we should. You're going to have spills, so you got to have something to clean up with. I keep 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in the whip. Smart. If you don't take orders going to faraway places, then hot bags are not really necessary. I think they're necessary sometimes. It depends. They always come in handy. You should always have them. But I understand if you're not going to use them for every order. I completely get it, because I don't use it for every single order either. Walmart Spark Cards. Yeah, just found your channel. I do catering orders, but expedite. Love it. Fuchsia in Fort Worth, Texas. How can I make more money? Ooh, listen, onboard as many apps as you can. Find a secret sauce of what apps are good. If you just started with expedite, try to get up to the 4 emeralds. Found spilled pinto beans in a bag. Wash it. Yeah. Sometimes you got to throw. I got a couple catering bags that are like kind of starting to rip a little in my hand. I gotta. It's time for me to place an order. I just had to order a couple car parts for the truck, for the truck. So I should have just, when I was on Amazon, I should have gotten a few more bags, but I didn't. So do you clean your bags every day, Pedro? No, I don't clean them every single day. No, I don't. They don't get that dirty though, but I don't clean them every day. I'm not gonna lie. Insulated holders are really good too. Yeah. Hot bags are a psychological thing. If it's clean and your pizza is getting, I think with pizza you should definitely have it. I think for optics reason, and because that kind of food's just different. Pizza can get cold real quick. But great comment. I do think there's something about that. But also, if you're using equipment, okay, especially if you're doing Instacart and Spark, okay, you can get more cash tips and better ratings when you're delivering things with proper equipment and you're not fumbling around. You know, if you're doing Spark and Instacart and you do big loads and you bring, you know, these IKEA bags and you got everything and boop, and you set it down and they see you very well organized, that can lead to extra tips and better ratings. It also saves you time to get your order quicker. If you have a cart, if you're in a market where there's a lot of elevators and this and that, having a cart comes in super handy on catering. You know, having the proper equipment down the line over the course of an extended period of time will garner you more money. I promise you it will. Over the course of time, it will. But yeah, the hot bags they're not always like the temperature of a French fry is not really impacted that much if it's in a hot bag or not, especially on the trips most of our trips are 10 minutes on average to drop off something. So it's a good point. Wingstop. Yeah, Wingstop is so bad. Okay, I appreciate that $6.99. Thank you. It's for Pedro. What's the best cart you can use? I don't have a link for one. I gotta get one. I need a sponsor for a cart. I got one that's the Ozark brand. I think it's like Ozark Trail or something. Works pretty good. There's so many different kinds. They're like the metal kinds that like go out and you can put like boxes and bags and it's also like a dolly. So it serves really good if you do roadie and other things. Like those are really cool actually. And then you got like the handle and you just roll it out. And then you got the ones that like collapse. Definitely get a collapsible one, but they go out and they're more like a wagon style. It's the one I have. I want to get one that's like a dolly style. That's like a dolly and a cart in one. That's what I need to get. I would recommend one of those two kinds. So automatic decline. I don't do a lot of Wingstops only because of the weight. I don't see a lot of good orders on them. So I just don't do Wingstop really. Nebraska says if food temp was so important, why do restaurants butt hit and cold items in the same bags? It's a good point. I think the reason McDonald's does that is to have it streamlined, but then also because they don't want us touching stuff. So they seal it, and you know, it's like I think that's why they do it, and the customers don't really complain. It's a good point though. It's a good point. And most McDonald's orders, because there's so many McDonald's, aren't being traveled long distances. Most, I'm saying. Right? Probably 98% of McDonald's orders are 5 miles or less. If you look at like the totality of all the orders, right? You know, some zones are different, but so I think they put that in consideration as well. I love my wagon. It really comes in handy with shopping orders. Absolutely, Hulk Smash. Absolutely, man. And I would say Hulk Smash is somebody who probably makes above average money. His ratings are probably really good because he's got good equipment. I know him, but I don't know him. But I would guarantee if he would be vulnerable enough to share, I bet that is a fact. I'd bet my week's earnings on it. That his ratings are good, his customer ratings is on time, and I bet he makes pretty damn good money and he's got good equipment. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Step out of your comfort zone, Lynn. 100%. You've talked about that several times. Taking Olive Garden big orders, going 6 to 7 miles. Do that. It takes creativity to use the hot bags, pizza bags, and catering bags to keep the food in optimal quality. Something most drivers are too lazy or not willing to do. Facts. And I mean, to some degree, I get it. We're not getting paid a lot. And it's like, depending on your experience and your mindset, and do you treat this like a business or not? You know, you don't have to treat it like it's your business every single hour of the day because it's not yours. But how you move, that is your business. Does that make sense? Like what you choose to do with it becomes your business and your money becomes either good or bad. I believe it, 100%. 6 orders, 220 today. Now, ooh, wow. Only 6 orders, 220? It's a great day. I had to take 20 KFC catering orders that filled my whole car. 20 boxes, no bags for them, only a little spot in the back. Yeah, some places like Chipotle, they give you that big box, and other places I picked up, they don't, it's like kind of awkward, and some of the merchants will even tell you, hey, I just got a bag, keep it in a box, it's still hot. And if, it's okay to transport it like that. It's fine. But having bags and like a dolly and a cart, it helps making those things easy. Because as you start to get some of these bigger catering orders that are like, sometimes once you get to $500-600, depending on the merchant, it's multiple bags. It's 3-4 catering bags, and depending on the weight of it, and some boxes you can only carry a box or two, and you don't want to be the guy showing up with boxes on stacks on boxes, and then you drop something, or you look more professional when you have proper equipment. Plus, it allows you to get up the elevators easier, less trips to the car. You're quicker. You're on to your next delivery faster. Ooh, I saw a YouTube notification. Thanks for the push, Pedro. Order number 13 tomorrow. So that's got to be somebody that's doing probably expedite, and they're on their 13th expedite. Love it. Treat people's food like it's your own. Yeah. Because we should be accepting things that have tips. Good tips, right? So. First thing for me, says Kay, I found the insulated bags you buy from my local grocery stores are cheap and work well. Yeah, some of those are really good too. Absolutely. Yeah, the ones that are camping and outdoor. Yeah, that's where I got my cart. Little wagons. Like, those work fantastic, man. I mean, they work great. It's been a couple of times I forgot it, because it does take up some room, and if I'm cleaning the car at the end of the week, I take it out and I'll forget to put it back in, and but most of my caterings aren't like massive. Most of my caterings fit in 2 or 3 bags, and I just carry them in at one time. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you can look at your orders and look at the drop off, what kind of building it is. Like, before I have tomorrow, I know one of the drop offs ain't going to be great, because I've been there before. So I know that in that order, I might have to do 2 trips. So I'm going to make sure I got my wagon if I didn't, right? So, like, knowing that kind of stuff and looking at the buildings and the address, Google search, Google Maps it. Okay, this building is this. Oh, it says 6th floor. So I know I need the elevator. So I want to make sure I got my proper equipment. Like, these are the things you should be mapping out before you even go to bed, if you got pre-claimed. You know what I'm saying? So you're setting up your day, so. All right, what else y'all got? We talked about a lot tonight. What are we at? We're almost at the hour. I thought tonight would probably be an hour. I wasn't sure if I'd do the stream here, but I wanted to just talk about driver behavior. Is the hate for Pedro so big for a couple of hundred of y'all that we're going to back a DoorDash driver putting food in a hot bag, that the hot bag was in the bathroom with her? Like, that's gross. And if you do that kind of stuff, you're just not a good delivery driver. And I'm not the best. I don't want to be the best driver. There are people that do this way better than me. They look better. They got better equipment. They've been doing it longer, and they take it way more serious than even I do. Okay. Because it is just food delivery. But on a base level, don't bring hot bags in the bathroom when you're on an active dash. That's a no. And if you do that, that's nasty. That's nasty. Okay. Yeah. And if you're going to fill cups up, or if you don't want to fill cups up, but for you smokers out there, make sure you're doing some things in a way that how you would want your food to be brought to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about that. Think about that. Move in accordance with what kind of money you want to make. All right? Because if you do this full time, if you take care of the food and the product and have equipment and act just a little bit more professional and a little bit more clean, and you're going to make more money. I promise you. When I was with the rideshare drivers, when I did rideshare, you guys know that. The drivers that have the cleaner cars, dress a little bit nicer, have good conversation, a little bit manners, get out of the car, open the trunk, maybe help get the luggage bag out, open the door every once in a while, especially for somebody that might need a door open for them. Those drivers make more money. The drivers that have maybe some mints, a couple extra bottles of water. If you're a late night driver, guy coming with his girl from the bar, might want a bottle of water on the way home. Maybe they want some mint. Maybe they'll grab a mint right there. Like, dope, hey, if the temperature's not good in the car for you, let me know. I could turn the AC up or down for you. Asking questions like that. Those kind of drivers make more money. If you notice you're listening to a song and the guy or woman in the back is singing it and they're bobbing their head, and turn it up just a little bit for them. You understand what I'm saying? Like your actions and behaviors and what you're willing to do or what you're willing not to do, that separates drivers from making $1,000 a week to 1,200, 1,200 to 1,500, 1,500 to 2,000. I'm telling you, this is free game. This is known. You know, this is how it works. There's a level of people that treat this like a business and treat it like they want to make more money. People that don't want to do that and just want to act like this is the worst thing ever, they'll flame out and they won't make good money. It's just the reality of it. Hold up. I thought I already got rid of that guy. He doesn't get to be here anymore. There we go. Sorry. How can I get back on DoorDash? They deactivated me and still to this day they won't tell me why. Okay, so use a different email and a different phone number. Try that first. You want to give that customer the best experience that you can. Yeah, absolutely. The best that you can. I think that's a great way of saying it, because we're not always going to hit a home run. We're going to fall short. We make mistakes. Things are going to be late. We're going to do this. We're going to drop it off at the wrong door. We're going to ring the bell when it says, we're going to make mistakes, but do the best that you can. Over the course of time, that will pay off in the long run, right? It's going to pay off in the long run. Steph Curry, I referenced him earlier. He's the greatest shooter to ever live. So if he's doing 1,000 shots a day, and another guy on another team is doing 500. 500 is a lot, and the other guy's getting better. But if Steph Curry's doing 1,000, and he's putting more effort into his craft, he's going to shoot a better percentage than the guy shooting 500. It's just a fact of life. It just is. He's going to get better at it. He's going to become more fluid in his movements. He's just going to feel. That's just how it is. When you take things more serious, you're going to have better result. It's not fraud. When you use your information, but a different email and a different phone number, it's not fraud. So I don't know what you're talking about. How do I get back on roadie? I was deactivated. Ooh, I have no idea. I don't know. I do roadie, but I don't. That process is different for me. I've never lost that account before. So. Ooh, okay. Let's do this. Let's do some questions. I'll answer some questions. I have a question on Expedite. I see trash offers I just got on this Friday, Pedro. I have questions on Expedite. I see trash offers. Okay. You got to see trash. Every app has trash. In St. Louis, the lowest I'll see is $20. You're going to see a lot of maybe 30. In your market, maybe it's just the mileage is too far, So make sure that your settings are right. Make sure you're in the right zone. But then, excuse me. Also, as long as the mileage ain't crazy, take a few. Take a few and see what you think. But yeah, I mean, excuse me. You guys are funny. No, I haven't spoken to them. Well, no, she emailed me. That's a great question. They were on a couple weeks ago. I won't mention her name because she didn't want me to. But yeah, she's still trying to get on, trying to figure things out. I think they're going to have some kind of legal process work itself out. So it's the best I can say for that. But I hope it works out for them. All right. I think that's a good show tonight. Well, maybe it wasn't good, but I feel better. I don't know about y'all. I try to drop a couple things that work for me. Hopefully you guys can take some positive energy and some thoughtfulness into next week and into the rest of the year. For all the people out there on Expedite Night, Out Now, or Zifty, or Deliver That, or Catering App, hey, good luck with it. I hope it works. Continue to try to, onboard apps that are going to pay you more cash flow. Because at the end of the day, that's where you want to be. I get it. If you only got DoorDash and Uber or Instacart and Spark and you're not hitting, it's not working like it used to, we got to try something else. And you get to the point where if you tried that, if you exhausted all the means, hey, maybe this line of work in your marketplace just isn't good. Maybe the $300 isn't achievable. That might be your reality. And then what else is it? Is there a different kind of gig? Is it medical courier? Is it cleaning laundry? Is it going back to a W-2? Starting something on your own? Is it writing? Is it coding? I mean, there's so many opportunities. But it's up to you as an independent contractor, an independent thinker, to search out that information, because it's not just going to fall into your lap the way a DoorDash or Uber Eats app will, because those apps are really, the onboarding process is easier, they're simpler. Maybe level up your opportunity in something that might be a little more harder to get on, might take a little bit longer, but long term, it's going to offer you more measurable success for your monetary dollars and cents. So that's all I have for y'all tonight. More to come. How do I say this at the end? How do I close the show out here? Let's see. Appreciate all the super chats tonight. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. You guys spent some time with me. Happy Sunday. If you're out making money, please be safe. At the end of the day, Nebraska with another 5. Thanks, man. Good show. Started out slow, finished strong. What's the other channel? Appreciate that, man. You know what? The other channel, oh man, I don't want to mix them. Email me. Can you email me? Mr.BetonYou, the number 8181 at gmail.com, and I'll send you a link. I don't want to mix. I don't want to intermingle, because the other channel is completely different than this channel. I actually have another one that I haven't even spoken about that's doing pretty good. So, but yeah, man, listen, how do I say this in a measured way? There's going to be a video coming out soon enough. It's going to be talking about some individuals, one particular individual in this community. It's going to surprise some of you guys. I need to say some things, because all I have is truth. And when I see people spreading lies and misinformation, I will always protect myself, because there's a certain individual out here that does not have people's interests like he says he does. More on that in a later video. I'm going to wait until all the ducks are in a row, because that's going to be a good one. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Have a great night. I'll see you next Sunday.